All right, I'm a young stupid dog, and the way this take begins, this is a black Jesus versus white Jesus scenario. I think it could be the pronouncement, like the fourth or fifth, or maybe it was like the seventh, but we backdated. I don't even want to talk about it. I think I already lost my train of thought. I don't remember what I was going to talk about. It's unacceptable. All right, so I'm just a stupid dog. Listen, if the pronouncement was going to be, if you are smoking weed and you're doing other drugs, cut out all the other drugs, alcohol, everything, nicotine, chocolate, everything, fat back, and just smoke weed. If you're not smoking weed, cut out all these other things, even, PCEBs, where you're drinking water out of the tap, or you're getting forever chemicals out of your plastic water bottle. Cut that out and just smoke weed. So the bottom line is we're just smoking weed. But this was a white Jesus versus black Jesus kind of a thing. But that was the pronouncement. Like, if you're not, this is mental health issues, okay? If you're depressed, you got to get exercise. You have to get a lean, carb-free, sugar-free, high-protein, high-raw vegetable diet. And a little exercise, swimming. If we could all go swimming, we should all swim. I'm a stupid dog. Neither white Jesus or black Jesus believed in this. In fact, this whole take bears a resemblance to some kind of a Laurel and Hardy thing from long ago. But in this case, this white Jesus versus black Jesus scenario, the white Jesus at one point, the man was standing there. They were all in their pajamas with their big robes on. So that's why they looked like apostles. They had big, giant, fluffy robes from the nut house, even though they were down on the shore at the sunside, seaside heights situation, sun-drenched, everything. And these guys, they were standing there talking. Well, guess what? White Jesus, he starts saying, what's the worst thing you ever done to black Jesus? And black Jesus was like, God, man, I didn't even want to talk about it. One time I went in and I stole a McRib sandwich. I had to have it. It's such a black thing. I had to have that. And white Jesus just stopped, and he did a Holy Cross thing on his chest, and he touched the black Jesus, and he was domineering, almost taking over, making black Jesus his equal, a disciple of his own. But then the tables were turned because white Jesus was like, I love going to McDonald's. And I had the best apple pie during Christmas of my whole life. That's what white Jesus said to black Jesus. And black Jesus was like, wow, that's so great. And then the whole thing, the whole scenario continued until the point where white Jesus admitted that sometimes he tips people at McDonald's. He does a tip, and he thinks that's the worst thing he ever done. He tips these people because they're always like, wow, this tip, it feels like I'm trying to be groomed. The pretty girl says, I think I'm trying to be groomed. Or the kid says, listen, I'm not gay. When you give the kid a tip at McDonald's. And so white Jesus was like, I always tip or try to tip at McDonald's. Sometimes they rebuff my tipping, so I don't know what's going on there. But anyways, I always try to, and black Jesus said, wait a minute, white Jesus. We said the worst thing, I shoplifted, a worst thing I ever did, but I don't know if that's, I shoplifted what do you call it, McRib. You're talking about maybe the most awkward thing. I don't know if it's the worst thing you ever did. And then all of a sudden, white Jesus says, the worst thing I ever did is I lusted after my mom. And everybody's like, oh my God, this guy's got the Oedipus complex. Black Jesus was like, holy fuck, that's the disgusting. And white Jesus got all bashful. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe I said it. I can't believe it in a minute. And white Jesus was like, fuck, I can't believe I did it, But in one way, he was like, my mom had a nice set of boobs. But the other way, he's like, my mom was like, was impregnated by God, so to speak, through inherited whatever it is, not holy or some kind of immaculate conception my mom had. So I'm not going to think this girl's hot. I mean, talent is a hot thing. And black Jesus was like, white Jesus, you cannot justify your edible complex. And white Jesus was like, I mean, it's not as though that I was, I don't think, and all of a sudden, white Jesus discovered he should just shut up because what was even worse was going to come out of his mouth than the fact he wanted to do his mom. I was like, disgusting. Black Jesus was like, holy fuck, I thought black. And then black Jesus was like, okay, you know what it is? That's why it is. That's why all the white people, the mass murderers and the serial killers, it's always never a black guy. It's almost never a black guy. It was the Green Mile killer, the Green River killer, a black dude. I think it's just the two black kids that shot people out of the trunk of the car and assassinated like 3 or 4 abhorrently, random. It's always the white people. Everybody doesn't know that, but white Jesus was like, I got it. It's the edible complex and the whole thing about the mass shootings is always a white guy. Every time so far, it's the white people that have been attacking a school and starting to shoot up and try to kill a bunch of kids in the school with many school teachers and whatever. And also it's the white cops that are always running away. Like, I can't protect these kids. They're paying me minimum wage over here. I got a 6-shooter. This kid's got a fucking bazooka. The government said he could have a semi-automatic thing, so I got a pea shooter. This kid's got a mass murdering mega machine, and I'm supposed to stand up to him in my big fat gut, making $8.25 an hour. God bless us, everybody. Don't worry about it. This is a terrible thing to even talk about. It came down to black Jesus was trying to rub it in because black Jesus normally takes the brunt of these things. But when you figure it out that black Jesus could, say, hey, every time they're attacking the school, marching up on the school, getting ready to slay a bunch of children, it's a white guy. Black Jesus and white Jesus was like, God, why do you even bring it up? That should be something you forgive, and black Jesus was like, yeah, say your prayers. Everybody wants your prayers, everybody. Give me some prayers about it. Don't fix the problem. Give me your prayers. And white Jesus was like, prayers, they're pretty powerful. And black Jesus was like, I know they're pretty powerful. And white Jesus was like, well, and black Jesus was like, I know exactly what's going on in your mind. Don't worry about it. I mean, like stupid dog. That doesn't even count. We erased that last 15 or 20 seconds. Don't worry about that. That's disgusting in itself. That was equally as whatever. I don't even think it was something I remember.